We're talking under your roof. You know, it's one thing to know a lot about what somebody does. It's a whole nother thing to know about more of who somebody is.
All right, so it's under your roof, and we've got special guests for a Mother's Day special edition.
Our mothers.
Our moms.
Our moms.
Well,
You have our moms.
we are honored.
So
Yes.
why don't you introduce your mom? I'll introduce my mom.
Well, this is my mother, Tina, and she's awesome. So to be fair, this was my wife's idea. And
Lucky you.
So if it goes bad, then you can blame her and not yourself. Is that why you did that?
She's claiming it. She's like, this
It's
is
not
my
going to
idea.
go bad. They're a little worried that, what are we doing? We didn't give them any heads up on what we're talking about.
No, but we never do.
We never do. Yep.
So it's fun.
Yep.
But no, so I thought it was a great idea, and I called Zach. I was like, dude, what if I can get my mom down here and we can just get our moms right before Mother's Day to do a thing, and
Mother's Day special.
so she came down here, and it worked out too because my youngest has her little dance recital at Beltway tomorrow. So it all kind of worked out.
It does work out.
Worked out
So
perfect.
we're all in Abilene, but Tina, you're not. So how far did you take you
I'm
to
in
get here?
Arlington, Texas, between Fort Worth and Dallas.
Yeah, which isn't too terribly far, but this is a good excuse.
Absolutely. Anytime he calls, I come.
There you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
Unless it's raining.
Just needs the invite. Yeah.
Unless it's raining.
yeah, I was glad
All right.
it wasn't raining on the way.
So we got Tina, and now we have my mom, Linda Vassar, who lives in Abilene, but hasn't always, just moved here recently. Her and my dad, Richard, I guess you guys live like maybe 5 miles around the corner from us.
Maybe.
Which is weird because my sisters had them in their home. They all lived together in the same town for like 10 years, 15. So we were always second-rate citizens because we'd go see them twice a year and they all see each other every day.
Yeah.
You know? And so we were trying to play catch up. And now it's like tables have turned, and
You could
No.
have moved there.
I was never going to move to Bridgeport ever. No offense to Bridgeport if you're watching from Bridgeport. We love Bridgeport. Mom was actually on the city council at Bridgeport
I was.
and had to step down to move to Abilene. So we didn't prep y'all, so we're just going to visit. We call this Under Your Roof because we like to get people in here and talk more about who they are than what they do. But Cameron and I did kind of think it would be fun if maybe I asked you some questions about Cameron and Cameron could ask you some questions about me. We could kind of just see where that goes.
I mean, we just had lunch, and I feel like there was
could have already
content for
recorded.
days.
Yeah.
We should have just recorded this at lunch, but
Let's start with when Cameron was little. You know, he couldn't have always been 6'9". There's no way you could have birthed the 6'9".
No, he was 7 pounds, 7'11", 20 and 3/4 inches
When did you
tall.
know he was going to be a giant?
Probably junior high.
Junior high?
When he started junior high, and I watched him walk in the door, and I'm like, whoa,
There's a man in my
He's
house.
getting really tall.
Was he lanky?
oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were talking earlier, kind of got quirky in his
Yeah.
growing spurts.
He
And I
just,
think
when you grow into tallness, I mean, all of a sudden, you're not used to your limbs, so I could see the struggle a little bit.
you're like a big praying
Clumsy,
mantis.
dude. I was like, yeah. Like a stick figure
Like a
walking
tree
around.
man.
Yeah.
Abilene's tree man.
I mean, I still kind of am,
He
really.
used to be
earlier
a little. He used to be a little. Didn't like it.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I hated
tall.
it, man.
kind of a complainer.
But now, I mean, he's so easy to pick out in a crowd.
Yeah, he likes it.
I love it.
I just
You
embrace it
are-
now. I mean,
Yeah.
He likes it.
Yeah.
The big guy. Abilene's big guy.
Well, so my sister is also really tall. So
Yeah?
mom's like the short person of the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my dad is 6'5", 6'6", and so
But you said you graduated high school at 6'6", 165 pounds.
soaking wet.
That's a
Yeah.
toothpick, bro.
Dude,
Like that's brittle.
I know, man.
Pretty thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But
I went to basic training and lost another probably 20 pounds. So,
You were
broke you
6'6"
down,
when you
man.
graduated.
yeah, because I grew 3 inches after I joined the military.
Yeah.
That's what going to Europe.
Because if
will
I
do.
was 6'9" before I joined, I would have been too tall. I couldn't.
There's a
have joined.
height limit?
Mhm.
Really?
There's a height limit for tall and for short.
So
Oh,
do
I
people
did
look
not
at
know
you
that.
like it in your stretch and go
Dude,
like, how'd you get in?
I got caught, dude. You talking about sticking out like a
There's
sore
got to
thumb.
be an organization for that, man. That sounds like some sort of
I got yelled at so much in basic
I
training.
just took an hour-long misconduct harassment deal yesterday, and somewhere in there's discrimination to your height.
I'm telling you, man.
I think you should fight it.
I remember I got yelled at in basic training by this really short drill sergeant. I had to get on my knees so he can yell
jump
at me.
and yell.
No, it was in the I was in the little dining facility, and I had a tray of food, and he was like, "Get on your knee right now." And he just proceeded to yell at me while I've got food in my hands in front of 200 people.
Oh my gosh. And here's mom going, come home.
All right. So let me ask you now, Linda.
Yes.
So is he the oldest of your kids?
No, he has a sister that's a little older than him.
And so
he's
the
only
middle.
boy.
Only boy.
With 3 sisters.
But
is he the favorite?
I was her first kid to have.
He was my first
I was the first in the
child to
womb.
birth. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I have a half sister, my sister Angela, but I didn't even know she was half sister until I was probably 10. I remember getting spanked because I ran my mouth off about it when I found out I thought it was funny. It's not funny. But they did a great job. Like I would have never known that mom wasn't Angela's mom.
Oh.
So Zach cracks me up just because he's got a heck of a personality. Was this the same personality when he was younger to where he's now?
First of all, you said he weighed 7'11". Well, Zach weighed 7'11" and was 21 inches, a quarter of an inch taller than you at birth.
Let's get you some of that.
Almost identical.
Get you some of that, big boy.
Dang. What happened?
He ate his green beans and spinach.
He was actually, he was so introverted and probably one of the worst mama's babies I've ever seen ever. We couldn't go anywhere. He wouldn't let me put him down. He wouldn't let his daddy hold him. If we went to to my in-laws' house or something, terrible mama's baby. I put him in Mother's Day out in Abilene for 3 months. He was 3 years old. He went and I picked him up one day and they said, "Can you watch through our peephole?"
Something's wrong with this kid.
I watch and he has this blanket that he drags around and sucks on. And I watch through the peephole and he's sitting over in the corner and he looks terrified of the other children, really terrified. And so I pulled him out. I mean, it was too much. And the girls were like,
kind of like I was in that picture.
Yeah, the girls that work there were like, we thought they always get better, that he's just not gotten better. And so we finally felt like we needed to show you and talk to you about it. So I took him home and I truly thought I had this horrible introvert that would never function.
What's wrong with introverts? Hey, easy. If you're watching this, you're an introvert. Settle down.
Out for the
serious problems. So he was just kind of a homebody.
So, okay, that's enough about me. So now I guess we're talking blocks of age. So that's a little kid. What was Cameron like as a little kid? Was he
He was
extrovert,
amazing. We had a lot of kids in the neighborhood.
I feel like you saved that answer. You've been ready to say that all week.
I
was
have.
amazing.
He was the best kid. He was the leader of the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah,
everybody looked up to him, and he didn't give a hoots about telling everybody what their role was. When they'd come, Cameron, what do you want me to do? I want you to, so he, he was a leader from.
He was a sergeant.
Yeah.
Sergeant Cameron.
It was.
Master Sergeant Cameron.
And he did such a good job, and he was, he was just a great kid.
Was he a good student? Was he good in the classroom? Yeah.
Yeah.
I passed.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, I joined the military.
High C's, B's, I think. He had a hard time.
I had
and
AB,
he never
I was
wanted
AB
anybody
honor
to help
roll
him with
until
his
about
homework.
junior high, and then I was like, all right, this is killing me now.
He wouldn't let
just did
anybody
enough to
help
get
him
by,
with his
did you?
homework.
Huh?
Just did enough to get by.
That's it. Especially in high school. That was it, man.
I'd go over your spelling words with you.
Oh,
weekly.
Gosh, yeah. Well, so it's funny. I tell this every so often is, I feel like I was a pretty big mama's boy growing up.
Oh yeah,
definitely mama's boy. And now, I mean, I have a great relationship with both my parents.
Right.
And now I think like, as I've gotten older, it's kind of switched a little bit. Not that, no love is lost. It's just, I relate to my dad a lot more as an adult. But when I was younger, man, I was
mama's boy.
Yeah.
Mama's boy.
Oh
man.
yeah.
That's
why
we'd read every night.
Yeah, I relate
together.
to that.
I can even remember there was a point when Zach stopped coming to me and started going to his dad. And it was like, what happened?
So sad.
What's going on here? But he really did, as an adult, start calling him for advice and not
Well, that's
me.
typical,
And
though.
it was,
Yeah. Women can't answer questions that dads can.
This is correct. I think that's a good point. It does take a male figure to show a boy how to become a man. And there's some things dad couldn't do. You've got a sister. I've got 3 sisters, and y'all have had to wear totally different hats in that. And
He was a great big brother, too.
Yeah.
He was. He'd help her open up all of her presents. I don't know if that was...
Yes, I said that, Bethany.
She's watching.
Turd.
She's my angel.
I got 3 sisters. They're all turds.
Okay, good question. I'm going to ask you. See, Bethany gets away with murder. She gets away
now.
She's always gotten away with
Not
everything.
really.
1,000%. Especially with Dad. Dad was a lot harder on me than he was on Bethany. Is that?
Yes, that is so true.
What's true?
That Dad was expected way more from you than he did from the girls. He would.
Oh, it's
Well, you're the big
ridiculous.
brother.
To this day, they take advantage of him, and if you're watching it,
he
y'all
took-
take advantage of him. It's unbelievable.
He took Morgan, who probably needed way more spankings than she ever got. He took her to the bedroom one time to give her a spanking, and he said, "All right, I'm going to hit the bed with this belt, and when I do, you yell."
Yeah, Richard. What a softie.
And they did that, and they wondered why she thought
Turned
she
out
could
how
get
she
away
did.
with
No, I'm just kidding.
anything
We love you,
but
Morgan.
me.
Too
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Cameron got
so
one
that was
spanking.
that was a little kid. He's the leader of the neighborhood, and then you get into school. Not a great student. Sounds like just passes by. But military. There had to been a Cameron. He kind of known around here for a lot of things, but military obviously it's what got you here. So. What was that like for Mom when Cameron decided to?
She hated it.
Yeah. I mean, I just, mixed feelings. He's going to go off to Europe, right off the bat.
Yeah.
It cracks me up, though, because she was anti-military. Like, I feel bad for the recruiter that had to talk to her. I don't think she wanted to be honest with you.
But how proud were you when he retired?
Very.
You were glowing. I remember.
Oh, yeah. I mean, golly, that's what a commitment.
I'm about to get both of y'all on this. She's got pictures on her walls of crap that I've got in the military that means absolutely nothing. And
but it means everything.
Well, you
means
were proud.
everything to her.
You were proud when you
I was
got
proud,
them.
but we're talking like she doesn't even have she's got my 1-2 year military picture on the wall, but she doesn't have my retired official military picture on the wall.
Next
Cut her
time you
some
come
slack.
over. I've been busy.
So
Honey, I've got...
Whenever we talked about doing this, and Mom, you came over yesterday. You're like, I'm so nervous. I'm like, you will get along with Linda so well. Like, y'all both have a very similar personality in your homes. Like, we went to your house to watch the Texas A&M game, and I immediately just thought of my mother's house because y'all got crap all on the wall everywhere. What is with that? I could just.
We're just
hoarders.
Well, we've got all this stuff on the wall because when we pass, y'all get to mess with it.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, y'all get to say, "Oh, it's meant so much to her. Do we keep it or get rid of it?"
So
I didn't always decorate the way I decorate now. It's something about getting grandkids.
Mm.
When I always put a Christmas tree up, but I didn't do anything over the top, right? When you were young?
No, not really.
But then when I got grandbabies, it's like there's something,
the little girl
you're
came out
seeing
in
it
you.
through their eyes. And so every room in my house is decorated toward their
Well, no, hold
grandbabies.
on.
That's
Let's pause right
amazing.
there. There's themes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
what's
honey.
the
I have a
guest
Betty
room?
Boop
We have a Betty
room.
Boop room
with a
how-
life-size Betty Boop
a
doll.
life size, and there may be 100 Betty Boop accessories. And
She reminds me of a favorite aunt that I had.
I
who was
think
tiny
Betty Boop
and
was a
black-headed
prostitute.
like her. She might have been.
I'm pretty sure.
I've
I think
actually
that's
had
I'm not
to.
totally sure,
I've got
but I'm
some
pretty
little
sure.
figurines I've actually had to paint more clothes on because some
Yeah,
of her
we've had
stuff's
that.
pretty
Betty Boop's got
risque.
some like, hey kids, when you go in the bathroom, like just remember, we're not trying to be like Betty Boop.
She reminds me of my sweet little aunt. And then I have I call it my sunshine room. It just has all kinds of cats and sun. The
Nice.
whole "You're My Sunshine"
Oh,
is sort of the theme.
who
And then
sang
we
that
have
to
our,
you?
our toy room that's just
Toys.
everything
It's a
pink.
mess. The kids
Yeah,
don't
it's always a
clean it
mess
up.
and it's
Yeah.
everything pink.
But Christmas, so when
Christmas.
Cameron came by, it's getting ready for Christmas. And I mean,
I'm
no
over the
exaggeration. There's 100 ceramic Santa Clauses.
Oh,
No,
it's beautiful.
that's
I
total
collect 'em. I
conservative
love 'em.
number.
I bought one the other day.
And I don't know how many gnomes or how many little bitty, who knows, villages. There's villages inside the windows you can see if you want to go outside and see the villages.
That's amazing.
It's very festive.
It's a lot, man.
I've had to downsize.
I
Right?
like
Yeah.
decorating the inside of my windows. And so I do have a lot of people who come by, and I have animated
Oh,
little,
yeah. Well,
little
that'll-
figurines that I put in them.
That'll make you want to do it every year, right there.
One of my favorite stories. Your family story is just cracks me up in a good way. In that, like, y'all are so well known in 2 communities, 3 really: Abilene, Hawley, Llano. At least that I know of.
They were more well known in Bridgeport.
Bridgeport,
than East.
okay. So
But I was the outcast of this season. This was
so I
my
only hear-
sisters. I only got to come in for the production, which
You
was a
got to
few
be
times
Santa
a year.
once.
Well, that's a big role right there.
Zach,
You-
tell the
You
story.
win.
Tell them how when we went down to Llano and we were coming home. And
During
it was
that
like,
football seat?
yep, it was like midnight, maybe 1 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, hey, dude, watch this.
We were road trip. Well, what we went and watched a high school playoff football game, me and Cameron, and we were following Hawley because Hawley has never had like the success they were having was unprecedented when we grew up. And I mean this, and I don't know what coach came in and did it. It might have been Mitch Abels. It might have been one before him. But I mean, when I say Hawley had never had a winning season, I'm talking about in the history of ever.
Oh, wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Until just, the last decade or however long it's been. And of course, that was the year they went to the state championship the first year. And anyways, well, we grew up in that. And my mom, and I always like joke that like I would call it Bearcat pride. But I'm telling Cameron, like, my mom, her and my uncle, like they would tell you that they have something to do with that success. Like they don't even live there and live there in 10, 15 years. But if I called her right now, I said, I'll just call her. So I call her and it's 1 in the morning. I got it on speakerphone. They're up, they're following stuff. I said, hey Mom, did you see how, and just, oh, well, let me just tell you about when me and your Uncle Jim, when we were there, and she just went on and on and on and on. And it's like, when you tell stories and you want to make sure, like some people exaggerate stories. I honestly never do. If I'm telling you a story, I'm telling you the
Same.
truth of the story. I'd rather you hear it and it be even bigger than what I told it. Now that doesn't mean we don't all in some ways kind of,
Embellish.
but I didn't embellish. I gave you half. She gave you the Paul Harvey, and it was good.
it
man.
was great.
It was
It
fantastic.
couldn't happen any better.
It was like we'd have planned it.
Okay.
You don't have to get into all that.
I won't
It
get
was just
into
fun.
it, but
It
I
was just
do
fun.
think that we headed up the booster club. We got a new
You started
coach,
this.
and we were there and
They brought a weight room in.
We had friends on the board who brought in a new superintendent who shook everything up. I would say he is, if any one person had the most to do with it, because at Hawley there was a time when nobody thought kids should lift weights until a certain age. And he, being from the NFL, supported a weightlifting program, and they became better. They became state contending weightlifters before they even turned the football program around.
Of course.
Wow.
Wonder if that's where you got
kind
it
of
from.
where it all started. The right people at the right time came to that community
I love it.
and got pride going again. I will tell you, I did buy a little machine to make those little buttons of photos, and I probably made 10,000 of them over
really?
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
About
but
every
10,000
single
money
one.
I made.
Now we're talking about embellish. There's not
That's an
10,000
embellishment.
people in Hawley
But
over the
you
last
wouldn't
100
believe
years.
how many of those I made. And when Mallory was a senior, I tried to teach other people to make them so that I could hand it off. No,
Didn't stick.
no, it was.
Hey, did you ever get involved in the school?
I was in the office and I helped his teacher.
Kind of a helicopter mom there for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was fun. And
I do that. I'm that way as a dad still today. I'm reffing powder puff football tomorrow.
yeah.
Like legit.
Hold our pride.
I just want to be, in
I
the
went
vicinity.
to all his, class parties.
she was room mom for
Yeah.
kindergarten, first grade, I
Yeah.
think.
Did Cameron ever do anything to get in trouble? Like in high school, did he ever just? Is there any story out there of just like?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What do you do?
Okay. So late one night, I want to say before the mall closed.
No, don't tell that story.
Yeah, Tina, tell that story.
That is not appropriate. Don't tell that story.
Well, maybe I'm not going to go into detail.
No.
Yeah, give it the
don't tell that.
PG-13. Listen, disclaimer. Cameron, I met Cameron before I would say you gave your life to Jesus and said, hey, I'm going all in for
100%.
Okay. That was just how many years ago? 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe not even that long ago. 5 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So of course there's a pre-Cameron. Okay. Just like I could tell you 1,000 things about myself I'm not proud of things that I did, but it's not who you are today. So carry on.
Well, he was such a good kid that there's very few to think of. But this particular one, his dad and I got a phone call from the Parks Mall in Arlington. So your son's being detained. And this is like closing time in the mall. And we're like, our son? Because he's been so good. So we go to the mall, and the security guy comes up and he says, we're like, what happened? And he goes, well, he was in the girls' bathroom with the girl.
No. It was the family bathroom. Carry on.
It was a family bathroom with the girl, and they had the door locked.
Yeah.
So that was an eye opener for me because I didn't even realize he was into girls.
Did the girl's dad show up?
No, but I
you lucked out on that.
I know the girl's dad and my dad had a conversation.
I bet they did.
And so, all right, Linda, same question, but to you.
Oh gosh,
what he got in trouble for?
Yeah. Give me one that stands out right off the bat that you can just like, this kid of mine.
Well, there was a hotel in Llano.
Oh gosh.
And they had some. It kind of had a reputation for people from Austin coming out
Outskirts
and staying
of
there.
Austin. Llano's outskirts.
And they were a little out of place in Llano. So the kids joked about the place a lot. Well, one night, I think there were 3 boys in the truck, 2 on the driver's side and 1 in the passenger side back seat. And they decided to go by the Dabbs Hotel and knock the mailbox down with a bat.
Well, you actually use a trash can for that one.
Oh, so one of them gets in the back of the truck, I think, and they drive by and they knock it down. Well, the owner runs out. He sees the vehicle. He shows up Monday at school, walks the parking lot and finds the vehicle.
Oh, wow.
And they call them all in.
They call us out of class.
Yeah.
Take us to jail.
He's a
3 of us. I was a sophomore in high school.
Sophomore.
It's in the middle of the football season.
He's a sophomore that got put on the varsity, right? So he's a sophomore with mostly senior guys. Well, he didn't tell them no. And he's like, I didn't do anything.
True.
I didn't do anything, Mom. I said, I know you didn't do anything. You didn't ask to get out of the truck. You didn't ask to walk home. You were only 5 or 6 blocks from our house. You sure didn't. You didn't do anything.
Good answer.
And so he was suspended from the football game that Friday night. I was very worried about it.
You were mortified because you were fully encased with worrying what people thought.
No, I was worried about my kid. He was getting up in the middle of the night. He was just not sleeping. It was a terrible week. But
the short story to that is I was on athletic probation for my entire high school career because of that one incident.
No.
And
we got Class C misdemeanors. We had to do some community service.
And then we came to Abilene, and the next morning, on Saturday morning, we were driving through town. There was a garage sale, and we stopped, and so crazy, a little metal mailbox.
Oh no!
Glued into a piece of driftwood was at this garage sale. And I bought it and took it home and wrote the Dabbs Hotel on it.
See, that's not good parenting.
Yes, it is.
It's like you made it okay.
No, I gave it to him. And I told him, if you ever think about doing anything like that again, this is to remind you.
Do you still have it?
No.
Probably not. But I did that did all happen. And I told him, and
That's
I
a
have other
great
stories I
thing.
could tell that were way worse.
Oh yeah. Shift gears. What kind of dad are you happy with what kind of dad Cameron is?
Yes.
Has that been, I mean, he's still your baby boy, but I mean,
he gets a little impatient, too impatient for me, but
That's a fact. Yeah.
you've got to see that, huh? You got to get under his roof?
I was, well, both his kids are wonderful. So he must be doing a good job. And
Yeah.
Megan, they're
Yeah.
great parents.
Well, I would assure you Megan has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great dad. He's a great son. He's a good man.
Yeah, I agree
And
with
I'm
that.
so glad he found God.
Yeah, I mean, we all are.
I really am. I mean, that is the best thing he could have ever done for Mama's heart.
Yeah.
Well, since we're getting all serious now,
Oh, boy.
Gear
uh,
shift.
did you ever envision that he would be a pastor?
No. Brad Benham went to college with a minored in ministry or religion or something
Yeah.
like that. No.
Bible.
No, my son, since the first grade, never cared about anything except sports.
True.
He had a girlfriend here and there, but no, the other boys hunted, the other boys fished, the other boys worked on cars. My son was a sports figure, a sports guy. He had a hard time reading when he was little until he found out about baseball cards. And then I ordered him a Sports Illustrated for children. He would read that cover to cover. He could quote you more sports facts than any kid
I
I've
promise
ever
you
known.
that has not changed.
He was a sports
I like
fanatic.
sports.
He played football, I think, from 4th grade through the end of college. Went right from there into coaching. Did that for about 10 years.
11.
And when he decided to get out of it, he'd gotten involved with a direct sales company. And I honestly thought a cult had taken my child. I'm not kidding.
They wanted to have an
I'm not
intervention.
kidding. I wanted an intervention. My husband and I would lay in bed at night and we were worried sick
You try to get me part of that cult.
because he wanted to
If
get
you
out
breathe,
of
man, I would
coaching.
recruit you.
He wanted to get out of coaching, and we're like, it's who he is. How will he ever? He will regret this forever because he's going to get out and then he's going to want to get back in.
Why
And
did he
then-
want to get out?
He got involved in a direct
Time.
sales.
Okay.
And he wanted to get, he could
Time.
make more money.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
It
could
was
make more
money, but it was
money.
time.
And his
I mean, I was missing a
he was
lot. I
not
missed
getting to
girls'
see
first
his
words,
babies.
first steps.
But
And I had friends that were having lots of success, and
Yeah.
we were replicating what they were doing. And I mean, you look up and you're making 4 times the amount of money, and over here than you are in your teaching and coaching, and I can exchange 80 hours of work week for 5. Like, what are we
we
talking
just didn't
about?
believe in it. We just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
believe in it. We
This was
didn't
a-
know enough about it. And we honestly were sure that he would regret it and not be able to get back in. We knew people who'd gotten out and tried to come back in. It's not a good thing. And I mean, I can't tell you how upset and stressed my husband and I both were. So
Well,
anyway,
you said something
but
that's
he got
key
out.
that I hope people catch, because you could be watching this, and the whole intent of this podcast is to talk more about who you are, not what you do. But if you're not careful, what you do can become so much a part of your belief in who you are that you get very lost. I was very lost in that. And so no
And we didn't
complaints
know
about
any
it.
of that.
Coaching,
They hid
I
that
mean,
real well.
yeah, I had a whole life going on that was just, but I didn't know, I mean, I did not know who I was outside of that. And at the same time, the direct sale thing came in, we got introduced to Jesus. And so my life transformed in a lot of different ways, not just a career change, but like a lot. And there were some things we had to navigate. So the cult thing is, it wasn't just we were getting out of sports. Like, you know, like when you first get excited for the Lord, you can go fire hose. Like I fire hosed. I mean, I had the answer for everything. I spent a good couple of years where like, let me give you a dissertation of what not to do as a believer. Here's the fastest way to run everyone off. Like I did a lot of that. I got exposed. I did. And I got exposed to the realities of spiritual warfare and what really is going on and things we can't see. And what I believe really is the root cause of a lot of things. And, you know, when you get that and you have people you care about, you want them to catch
Oh,
that at the same
absolutely.
time. But like, But the reality is people have to catch things on their own in their own timing. God has the plan, not you.
Absolutely.
And you want to control everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
so,
the
you know, I've
other
been on,
thing
we
I
all
really-
grow. I've matured
You were
in that.
talking about being a good dad or not. The other thing that I've always seen in Zach, that he's super protective of his girls and the evil that we all know is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is super protective. And so when he found Jesus, I think he became really like obsessed with being the very best protector of them.
Yep.
Of the evil that's out there.
Yeah.
And as far as the coaching thing, he was still coaching.
Yeah, that's true.
He was just, at that time, really, he was coaching young mothers how to make enough money to be able to quit their job and stay home with their kids. Had lots of them under him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Lots. Then they moved to Abilene because they love it. And when you're in direct sales, you can live anywhere. So they moved back to Abilene and he gets involved with the church. Well, now he's really coaching
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
as the men's pastor.
He coached me.
He's he's really coaching on a grand scale.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no, I never saw that coming. Never, ever.
No, me neither.
He got exposed. We went to church. We did things. He got exposed, but just not the way
Isn't
he
that
got
funny
exposed.
how God works?
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, just came into your life like that and pretty much took over.
Well, and
Totally.
I do believe he would be missing football. He would be missing all of it if he weren't still coaching in some way. He's a natural. He was born to coach.
There is a part of what I get to do that I do see as, you know, it's not scoreboard coaching. It's more what truth. I mean, what matters. Well, everyone that's watching this, or Cameron, how you and I connected, everybody wants to know what the truth is of some fill in the blank matter. And that's all that we're really doing as believers, is helping people get pointed to the truth. And there's so many things out there that can't, that the noise is, the volume is up as high as it's ever been. The internet's been discipling people for years and years. I mean, it's just like, not that it's an easy job, but man, I get a lot of value out of it. It's very fulfilling. Yeah. But I mean, you get to spend time with people like Cameron, who I've absolutely love, and we've gotten to know really well. And you're coaching too. I mean, you don't know this mom, but Cameron is led multiple young airmen, you know, to the Lord, and has been available to people in the way that he serves and the things that he's a part of, not just in the be seen, but there's a whole lot that goes unseen. And, you know, when you're doing that, you don't do that for your own good, but you're making deposits and there is a return coming. And I don't know what that looks like for you, but it's going to be awesome. And
absolutely,
you know, there's value that you're giving away to people, and it's worth it.
It cracks me up a little bit, you know, because we got to work together for a season, for a company here in town, and you know, which was great. I had a blast getting to work with Zach every day, but I always in the back of my head was like, "What are you doing, man?" And then when he decided to go back to full time, you know, as a pastor, I was like, "Good, please."
Yeah.
Like that's literally your calling, man.
I was
Like,
trying to figure it out.
I know, man, but I'm
out.
happy you did, because it's like, and I think even our old boss would probably agree, and every single person that was in that office, along with everyone in the community, is like, okay, good, about time that you came back.
This being a Mother's Day special.
Yeah.
I lost my mother when I was 24. It was not okay.
At 24?
Yeah.
It was not okay to lose your mama when she's 58 years old, and had always been the picture of health and just the ultimate grandma.
Yeah.
It was not okay. And I have, over the years, cannot begin to tell you how long the list is of things that I wish she could have seen. I wish she could have known. I mean, I was pregnant with a baby that she never got to see. But possibly the most important thing I want her to know about is that Zach's a men's minister.
Yeah.
To me, that's the most important thing I will tell her when I see her.
Yeah.
Of course, she already knows.
Yes, she does.
I know she does. But it'll be the most important thing that it just is.
Yeah.
She would be, oh my gosh, she would be bragging to Everybody.
Yeah.
She used to write for the Abilene Reporter. There'd be many articles in the
Oh,
Abilene
praise
Reporter.
God, she's in
Sounds like a
heaven
lovely
now.
woman.
So okay,
Just
so
kidding.
not only are y'all awesome mothers, but also awesome grandparents. So I gotta ask, like, compared. I'm not a grandparent yet, Macy. No,
Not
think
anytime
about
soon,
it. Not
no.
anytime soon. Not for another 40 years.
Not 40.
But your kids, grandbabies, how does it
Nothing
compare?
better. You love them, eat them up,
Like,
give them
like,
sugar, whatever they want.
As a
and you
parent,
send
we
them
see
home.
we see what happens when they come back.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we see, but come on, give me the grandmother just insight of your grandbabies compared to
Tina,
like.
what do you go by?
Meemaw.
Meemaw.
Mm-hmm.
Meemaw and Mimi.
I'm a Mimi. There's just nothing like it.
No, there's not. And, when you see your child in this other child, it's amazing, And I've been blessed. Macy is the best anybody could ever ask for.
Yeah, she's a good kid.
Be good, Christian, beautiful, sweet, soft-spoken, girl. And I've always loved her since they got, Cameron and Megan got together when she was 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes Addie. She's just adorable, and we
Freaking-
click like this.
She got a big personality.
She
does.
does. She's everything I wish I was.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially at that age.
She got
'Cause
that
I had a
from-
rough upbringing.
She got that from that personality is this side of the family.
do you have just the two grandkids? Yeah.
No, 3.
There's a third.
Just had a new boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Joseph
Cool.
Mitchell, my husband's son's baby.
Awesome.
So we just got back from California meeting him. Oh, adorable.
We have some yours, mine, and ours. We have 13. Every one of my grandkids, every one of them is completely different from the other. They're all totally different, completely
Unique.
to
Mhm.
theirself.
I feel like we could just have like a part 2 of this. Like we can't, there's no way to
Yeah.
end.
So for Mother's Day, this is what I want.
Okay, go. Oh yeah, it's a good question. Mother's Day gifts. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
want you
You just
to
got it.
go antique store with me
Oh,
and
Okay.
mean it. You're on national television. You have to if you say yes.
We'll figure out a time.
you're going to go antiquing today?
Not today.
You know, Tina, what you should do, since you live in Arlington, which is halfway to Canton,
Yeah.
you should pick a first Monday weekend.
Oh, I know. I have a friend
Well,
that lives in Canton.
Cameron will pick you up on his way and go on into Canton, and y'all could do a 2-dayer.
That's a
in
long
East
day
Texas,
for me.
and you could get the real experience. It's the largest flea market I think in the
Oh,
country.
yeah, it is.
We
Or
can
you
just go
could
to Buffalo
come
Gap.
to Abilene and go to
Dude.
the Buffalo Gap one.
Guys,
Is that
Do both.
antique?
I've been to the Canton one. I know what.
listen, it's
When?
When
it's
I was
the
living in
Disney
Athens.
World of flea markets.
All right, so antique shopping trip. What about you? What's the?
What's
It's her birthday,
what do
so
I
she
want?
gets
Oh yeah,
2 picks.
birthday and
She
and
You already
Mother's
got
Day.
lunch and we got dessert, so
No, that
Mother's
doesn't-
Day.
Okay. Well,
The truth,
Yeah,
What's the girls?
I don't need anything.
Oh,
make me look
I mean,
bad.
no.
How
I
about this?
really
I'll
don't.
bring-
And honestly, I don't want to take him to a flea market. He would be a downer for me. He
I
would
ain't
not
about that life,
appreciate
man.
anything that I appreciated. He
shopper.
would think, oh, she is as weird as I thought she was.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll just, Cameron, you go down that aisle and I'll go down that aisle and just let you look on your own.
When I go somewhere, I go to get what I want to get, and then I leave.
I'm
the same
I
way.
have,
That
I
is
have
exactly
no
his
desire.
dad.
But some of it's because I've grown to appreciate time. Like time means a lot to me, and I don't always spend it the greatest. But man, I hate wasting it.
I'm with you.
And close y'all's ears. I think it's just a waste of time going to these flea markets, but they don't. So I
it's
think it's good.
nostalgia.
Till you find the
It's nostalgia.
perfect
and-
Santa.
Yeah, yeah.
Got to get a Santa.
Well, thank y'all. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day. If you watch this today, if you watch it later, then it could be any day for you. But today it's Mother's Day. So
Mother's
shout
Day.
out to all the moms.
Shout out, moms.
That was fun.
Thank y'all for coming on. It was fun. I feel like we could just keep doing this, but at some point we have to let Molly go home. She's got a lot to do tomorrow to get ready for. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Super good idea, Cameron, and really good idea, Megan, because it wasn't Cameron's idea.
Love you, son.
Love y'all.
Yep, love y'all. All right.